12 crazy ways animals give birth. The animal kingdom is full of wonders and surprises right from the day they're born. Join us as we tell you about the crazy ways animals give birth. Let's begin. 12. Octopus. The octopus's reproduction is very odd indeed. Male octopuses insert packets of sperm into females with special arms called hectocotylus. The female can store this sperm until she is actually ready to fertilize. On average, the female fertilizes about 200,000 eggs. After this, she then lays the eggs all around the den or hangs them from the walls. If not this, then they are attached to the sea floor. She then has to guard the eggs very carefully, aerating them by fanning water over them over time. Such intense labor by the female octopus is not rewarded at all by Mother Nature. Octopuses are semiparous animals, which means they can reproduce only one and then they have to die. During this whole process, the female has spent so much energy of its body in growing and then mating. The mother will stop feeding herself and will just stay and watch over the eggs, slowly but surely starving herself to death. 11. Hammerhead sharks. In 1999, a captive hammerhead shark in a Nebraska zoo gave birth. But what was unusual about this birth was the fact that the mother was the only hammerhead in the tank. This is known as virgin birth, essentially making a clone of yourself. The technical term for this cloning process is called parthenogenesis. DNA tests of the baby shark that was born revealed that there was absolutely no male DNA in its body. As female sharks can store sperm for as long as 4 years, more extensive tests were done in order to rule out this possibility. This ability exists in only a few other species, such as geckos and lizards, but seeing it in a shark species is truly amazing. 10. Giraffes give birth while standing up. Female giraffes are pregnant for a staggering 14 to 15 months. The pain does not end here though either. When they go into labor, they have to stand up in order to push the calf out. When the cute little baby giraffe emerges, it immediately drops to the ground. This fall can be from an astonishing 6 feet. Although it does help in breaking the baby giraffe's umbilical cord, it is a scary fall to say the least. Remarkably, the fall only helps the birthing process and no damage is done to the calves, which become active shortly after. At birth, baby giraffes weigh in at about 100 to 150 pounds, not making the process any easier for the moms. 9. Suriname toads give birth out of their backs. Suriname toads enter into this world of ours through holes in their mom's back. Firstly, the female toad lays her eggs. Then the male toad fertilizes the eggs and places them all over the female's back. This is done after some creative and energetic mating. Eventually, skin starts to grow over the eggs. This acts as a protective layer. This skin grows over each egg and forms a sort of honeycomb structure. After about a 7-day period, the baby toads squirm and get out of the holes in the protective skin. The egg hatching process takes longer than 4 months to occur. It is certainly a novel way of ensuring the survival of up to 100 eggs, all of which avoid the danger of free-swimming tadpole stage that usually toads have to go through. 8. Spotted hyenas have a risky birth. Female hyenas have 3 times more testosterone than males. This strange anomaly results in a peculiar and risky labor process. Female hyenas give birth through their pseudopenis, which in technical terms is their clitoris. Sadly, many hyenas do not survive the birthing process as the birth canal of hyenas is only about 1 inch across. Suffocation is a frequent occurrence for the cubs, along with the death for first-time hyena mothers. 7. Platypus. Rare mammal that lays eggs. The platypus is one of only 5 mammals known to humans that lay eggs. The female builds a burrow and lays her eggs in there. The eggs are allowed to gestate for about 2 weeks, and then the female platypus incubates the eggs for at least another 10 days by warming them with her tail. The female helps the hatching of the eggs by using a tooth-like structure called the egg tooth. These are developed by platypus to break the shells of their eggs. Along with an egg tooth, a caruncle, the strong bump on their snout, is also used to break the egg shells. The caruncle is an evolutionary feature left behind from its reptilian days and just another reason why platypus continue to be so fascinating. 6. Marsupials are born in an embryonic state. Female marsupials, which include kangaroos, wallabies, and opossums, have not one but 2 uteruses. They also have 3 vaginas. One is used for giving birth, and the other 2 are used for intercourse. This maximizes the chances of marsupials getting pregnant and giving birth easily. Marsupials do not have a placenta like most mammals, and marsupial babies hence only gestate for about a month. They are then born in an embryonic state due to the ultra-short pregnancy period. Their noses, mouth, and front limbs are developed enough at this stage to allow them to climb down into their mother's pouch and continue the growing process. Although their eyes and ears are hardly mature enough at this stage, the process is quite unique amongst the animal kingdom. 5. Male seahorses give birth. A member of the Cygnathidae family of fish, with over 300 species, the seahorse has many closely related fish. In order to reproduce, the female seahorse leaves her eggs in the male seahorse's brood pouch. These special birthing pouches are grown by the male specifically for this purpose. Here, the eggs are slowly fertilized. Sometimes the eggs are attached to the male's tail instead. After about 20 days, the male gives birth to at least 1,000 tiny little seahorses. During this whole process, the male seahorse plays an active role in protecting the eggs like a doting father. After the hatching process is over though, the male can take a break as the small fry of seahorses do not need nurturing as younglings. Other members of the species, such as the pipefish and leafy sea dragons, also give birth in this way. Number 4. Cichlids hold fertilized eggs in their mouth. Cichlids belong to a large fish family called the Cichlidae, which also include angelfish and tilapia. When it is time to reproduce, the male puts the fertilized eggs in his mouth. This is the place where they stay until they start hatching. This process is referred to as mouth brooding. The male fish is unable to do anything, even eat during this time period. Sometimes the female fish will carry the fertilized eggs in her mouth, or the male and female will share the burden. This phenomenon is called biparental mouth brooding. The eggs hatch after about 7 days, but some dedicated fish parents continue to carry the fry for at least another few weeks, foregoing the ability to eat for so long just for the young ones. Typically, fish born through the mouth brooding require a lot of recovery time to feed and grow since they are born underweight. Many fish eggs usually die from a myriad of things such as fungus, predation, and being swept away by strong currents. These mother brooder eggs have a good life in this regard for sure. 3. Cuckoo catfish forces others to raise their young. This species of catfish actually engages in a truly bonkers game of cannibalism to give birth. This game involves the humble cichlid that we talked about before. The catfish uses the mouth of the cichlid to harbor her eggs. The catfish actually will swim over and lay an egg in the mouth of the cichlid to carry. While this happens, the male cichlid dives in to fertilize what he perceives to be the female cichlid's eggs, but in actuality are the cuckoo catfish's eggs. All of this happens in mere seconds. The even crazier part comes after this. Because the cuckoo catfish eggs grow and hatch faster than the remaining of the cichlid eggs, the newly born cichlids actually eat the cichlid's own eggs. 2. Flatworms split into 2 to create new flatworms. Flatworms have not 1, not 2, but 3 methods of reproduction. Flatworms lay fertilized eggs that can grow inside their bodies in what is called a cocoon. Apart from this, the worm can fertilize its own eggs with the sperm inside its body. Flatworms can also remarkably reproduce by splitting off a piece of its own body. This is followed by allowing the piece to grow into a second worm. It actually is as simple as that. The third and final option for flatworm reproduction is called penis fencing, which involves pushing their sperm into the exterior skin of other flatworms. Number 1. The Australian spider wasps have a disturbing birthing process. In order to reproduce, the spider wasp first injures a spider, known as the huntsman spider. This is done to such an extent that the poor spider is paralyzed. Then the wasp lays its eggs in the center of the huntsman spider's stomach. The wasp then patiently waits for the eggs to gestate and hatch. After the stomach has been used for hatching the egg, the wasp will devour the spider entirely, making for a good meal as well. That's a wrap for crazy ways animals give birth. What intrigued or disturbed you the most about these processes? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for videos like this. See you in the next one.